This is the JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe.
Papa.
Part of my tough stance on immigration.
We go to McDonald's today, Papa?
Tuesdays will be changed to Pizza
Pasta.
Thursday.
Hey.
I like pizza, pepperoni, mozzarella, and patchouli. I like pizza with salami, extra cheese, and oregano. I like pizza with tomato. I like pizza. We like pizza. We like pizza in the morning. We like pizza every day. We like pizza in the evening. We like pizza anyway. I like pizza, pepperoni, mozzarella.
I've never seen you eat a slice. To you it's just a trend. Pizza is my life. Pizza is my life. Ten crusty dish, double pepperoni, yummy stuffed crust, no anchovies, pizza rolls, pickle punch, cheese and crisps is what I like, but in the oven, I don't care, I'm not very picky, warm and delicious, spicy, stinky, cut it into 8 squares or triangles, all I really want is pizza and meat.
Greetings.
Pizza.
So on Tuesday, Domino's held a competition to answer the question, who is the world's fastest pizza maker? With an audience of 8,000 people at the Venetian Resort in Vegas. Zagros Jaff emerged victorious.
Little handsy, that guy.
Yeah, super handsy.
Is that prep and cook time?
He's a regional manager in Hampshire, England. He made 3 large pizzas in just 70 seconds. That's 23 seconds roughly per pizza. He won $3,000, a trophy, and a championship belt.
Oh, that's badass.
So contestants had to hand stretch the dough and add the sauce and toppings on 3 pizzas: 1 pepperoni, 1 mushroom, and 1 cheese.
I don't think I've hand stretched my dough for about a week now. Go ahead.
It's good for the prostate.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so excited to have won the world's fastest pizza maker competition. I've been training for this for 12 years.
Practice.
Competition means everything to me. Making pizzas fast and efficiently is the heart of Domino's business, and it's what I do every single day.
That's cool.
I want to be the best, and I love the rivalry. It makes me work harder. Domino's site contestants were also graded on the dough and sauce, the portion of toppings, and the placement of the toppings. Quality was scrutinized as 2 judges who are highly qualified in Domino's standard pizza making practices inspected the stretching of the dough, the application of the sauce, and portioning of toppings during the competition.
You got to relax. Don't tense up.
Put on some music.
Free your mind.
The pizza was not perfect. The judges added time penalties to the competitor's time, or the pizza was DQ'd.
Remember, boy, if you ain't first, you're last. Just remember that growing up.
Domino's said it started the world's fastest pizza maker competition in 1982 to honor pizza makers who best exemplify the company's philosophy of keeping efficiency in the store to allow sufficient time for sale, timely pizza delivery.
Nice.
Couldn't be happier to crown Jaff as Domino's 2022 world's fastest pizza maker. That's what the CEO, Russell Weiner, said.
What would be a penalty? You forget...
If the toppings look crappy, like all the pepperonis weighted on one side.
Still got to be up to standard. Still got to be up to Domino standards.
So that's pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, right. You don't want to leave a cheeseless portion of the pizza. That would be a deduction.
Well, yeah.
1 strand of cheese is missing. Yes. Take you out back and flog you.
23 seconds per pizza.
But that's incredible. And made well. That is incredible. I'm trying to think of something I've done. I've done nothing well. What would be your pizza mountain to climb and conquer? What would
probably
be
a belching contest?
Ooh, belching contest. Rip one off for me.
I can't right now because I don't have anything carbonated.
See, I can't. I can't just belch on command like some people. That's a talent.
I just need something carbonated in it. Dude, if I have a Diet Dr. Pepper, look out.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What did you figure it out? Sad man. Go wait in the truck.
I'm good at practicing at golf and not getting much better. Yeah, I know that's the opposite. I don't know. I'm not good at one thing. I don't have one skill set. I just realized that. Oh yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Nice. No, that's not even it. I'm just average across the board. Pretty average.
Got to be something.
I'm pretty good at trash talking.
Let's say you could talk.
Yeah, at any one.
Nonstop.
Right. Especially golfing. My buddies will tell you that. My ability to not literally stop talking.
Yeah.
I even screw my own putts up because I talk while I'm putting.
You're like, someone shut this asshole up. Oh, wait, it's me. Every time.
One good thing. Damn. Hi, how's it going?
Average across the board. I wouldn't even say that, Johnny.
Yeah, maybe
come on
maybe
now.
a little below average. Geez, I can't believe how boring I am. But I just don't have one achievement that I conquer daily.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you out here, bud. How about we put a pin in that and we'll circle back around.
Talk amongst yourselves. Everything's fine.
It's all right, dude.
I'm good at vacationing. I'm never here.
Is there a vacation competition?
I might cheat on my vacation days. I don't know. But one good thing, no, I'm not a beer maker. I'm not a pizza maker. I consume excellence. That's what I do. I consume excellence.
There we go, dude.
I enjoy that. I appreciate the art that these guys from Hubbleton and Ale and everybody puts into it. But I would rather sit on their deck and consume their excellence and relax.
Amen, brother.
I mean, let the artist work. Shut up and let the artist work.
Mm-hmm. Know your role. Your role is to drink.
That's my role in life.
I love it.
Wow. That's kind of a load off.
Good. All right, that's JJO News. Figure it out, asshole.
Hello.
Dude, I have it.
All
I
right.
have your perfection.
All right.
You are Madison's #1 recycler.
Ooh.
And you, whenever we go to a restaurant, you finish everybody else's plate.
That's true. I'm like the. That is true.
I mean, you save probably millions of tons of stuff that goes into a landfill typically in a year.
Yeah.
You're like
I'm the
Captain.
junkyard
Captain
dog.
Planet.
I am the junkyard dog, no doubt about it. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have isn't it common practice around there? If something's not done,
What are
he's
you?
gonna finish that?
What are you good at? What's your pizza making talent level skill?
Mine?
Yeah. See, it's hard to. I
married the marketing director for Rocky Rococo's. I haven't made a pizza in
So
20 years.
7 degrees of pizza. It's true. It's true.
We lived off her pizza.
We
in the
did.
90s.
I don't think. I got pretty spoiled. That's true. All right. Good point. All right. Keeping it with pizza. All right. Hi. How's it going?
Oh, geez, Johnny, you're good at talking out your ass. You know that, right?
I'm good at talking out my ass. I'm good
Talking out your ass.
I'm good at word salad, and literally not making a point.
And I will refer to my first evidence here, Exhibit A, and it would be the 6 o'clock break yesterday where you talked about cat food for 20 minutes.
Ooh. Hey, so I
Nothing
take.
wrong with talking about pussy.
So I take.
Pussy's got to eat, dude.
I take. I take the.
I'm 300 miles away. I got to stream you every day. You suck that much. I got to listen to you.
I take the cat sample home from the cat food place, right? Earthwise. Big mistake. Aspen tore through that food sample like an F5. I mean, it was.
Where's the rest of
it
this?
was gone, and he's never gotten into the Imes that fast. And I
You ever
emptied.
tried the food?
I'm pretty pumped. I'm
No.
gonna get a bag today. Pretty pumped. My cat
You ever
food.
tried the cat food?
My cat
You ever
food.
tried it?
My cat food budget
Hell
just
no.
tripled. So now gas is going up. My cat food just went up triple.
Have you tried cat food?
No, I haven't.
Caller?
I heard it tastes like chicken.
Well, real chicken and
Tastes like chicken. Keep on licking.
and
Oh my
real
God.
and
Daddy.
real salmon.
You just don't stop. I love it.
Okay, hi.
I love how it took you to your mid-50s to realize you're a total loser. Failure, I meant, sorry.
No, failure's good. I think
Yeah, we could use them interchangeably.
I mean, I like that I've been consistent keeping a job. That's been a prideful thing for me. When most people wash out of radio,
Yeah.
in their 20s, they give up. They don't wash out; they give up.
Yeah.
because it's
It's
tough.
a long climb, dude.
It's tough. So that is a point of pride for me.
Right.
If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. I don't care.
I don't
A
mind
lot of
it,
people
really.
can't go to work, drink, and get slightly hammered, and be invited back the next day.
It's true. We've somehow found the job for us.
So my ability is the ability to stay buzzed 4 days a week and keep a job.
That's damn impressive.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, Johnny, we know it's not you being a DJ.
No, that's the opposite of what I just said.
I didn't hear my phone.
Perfect.
Bluetooth was
Perfect
Listen, let me
timing.
tell you, I've heard
You
worse.
could not have had
Listen
better
to-
timing.
I've heard worse than me.
terrible. Dee's talent is being a DJ. Yours is.
Talking. We're back to the talking.
Well, what's the difference between talking and being a DJ?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's the difference between talking and being a DJ?
Running the
Oh, you have
board.
to have talent to talk. A DJ, you just got to sit there and play music.
Yep. Just push the button.
You just said I talk, and she says I talk, and you DJ.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
D is just awesome. That's all.
Kisses. Love you.
Wow. Sorry, I don't live up to your lofty standards of DJ excellence.
Well,
You're
I've
not
met you
sorry.
enough times, and I've met you enough times.
You're right. I'm not sorry. Hi, how's it going?
Do you realize by the time this bit's over, it'll be news again?
Yeah, it's almost news.
Feels like a trap.
Hi, how's it going?
I love you.
I love you.
Don't lie to me. See, then I get paranoid when somebody says that they love me.
You're supposed to say it back.
I love you, man. I've had enough beer. I'll tell a man I love him.
You can learn a lot listening to podcasts.
And only 3 countries in the world don't use the metric system?
Or you can listen to this one.
I can't remember where I went Friday. Oh, my
Oh
God.
my God, what did I do on Friday? I gotta check my calendar.
If anybody saw me Friday, call.
The JJO Morning Show Podcast.
I literally have no idea where I was Friday.
Johnny and D, nowhere but JJO.
Vagina. 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 Vagina.
And these subliminal messages. Getting all horny.
Eh.
Ah.
Eh. NFTs.
What is your talent? Tell me about the veg.
So, how are you feeling about the NFT thing? The non-fungible token.
I'm neutral to positive.
I like that you're not negative. Good. While Madonna diving into the NFT market crotch first. She's auctioning off 3 NFTs, and each one is a computer-generated video where something different is growing out of her vagina.
Labia majora.
I'm growing tomatoes out my vagina.
Meteor, please.
What's wrong with her?
In one, it's a tree. In another, it's a swarm of butterflies.
A tree?
Yeah.
She seems a little desperate.
And in the third, it's little robotic centipedes, because that's not freaking terrifying.
And they're crawling out of her.
Yes.
Oh.
Madonna says, I wanted to investigate the concept of creation.
Oh, just stop.
No, dude.
Create retirement and go away.
Not only the way a child enters the world
Yeah.
through a woman's vagina,
Ah.
but also the way an artist gives birth to creativity.
Well, that's I can't criticize you.
You're going to see.
You women and your vaginas are on a different wavelength. I'm not supposed to comment on that.
Okay. Well, look. Good job. She adds, all works were conceived with a 3D scan. So you're going to see close-ups of her
Vagina!
Money raised from the NFTs is going to 3 charities that are focused on supporting women and children around the world.
Baffling. You don't have a rendering, do you? Could you sketch something out for me? Let's see what's going on there.
Sure. I'll sketch something out real quick. Can I just give to the charities and not have to look at the vagina? How about that?
Am I going to be able to tell it's a vagina, or will it be like a rendering, a soft? Will it be a soft opening or a hard opening?
Well, it's like it was created with the 3D thingy-majiggy, so it's actually her vagina.
So this is what happens when your music career is basically over? You
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Stuff comes out of your
I was like, but what?
hoo-ha?
But why now? Why now?
It's a little desperate, but whatever, man. I mean, you arty folks, I guess you like that stuff.
Last thing I want to look at is a vagina with robotic centipedes coming out of it, okay?
Yeah, she seems a little deranged. Is she drinking?
I don't know. She's, maybe she's just reached a point where she knows it doesn't matter. She can do whatever the hell she wants. She's friggin' Madonna.
You've entered another dimension, Madonna's vagina.
Oh, look, a swarm of butterflies.
So it's like metaphors for life-giving creations.
The artist is birthing art through Madonna's vagina. I feel like there could have been an easier route, but whatever.
See, now if you and I always say if normal people did this, they put us in a straitjacket. But then somebody famous does it, and
that's right.
It sells for $80 trillion.
Right. Because the difference between being crazy or eccentric is money.
Right, or attention grabbing or whatever. I mean, it's just very. I don't know if it's gross. I'd have to see it. I mean, normally you say vagina and my ears perk up.
Your ears perk up. I didn't know you can move. Your ears.
That's where my ears came from. Madonna's vagina.
Oh.
No, I mean, she's like, is she 70?
Oh, no. How old is Madonna's vagina?
Well, the vagina's probably 20 years older than she is.
She's 63.
Holy Toledo.
And she got some major work done. Holy.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Well, all her pictures are touched up. Because I see her and it's like, oh, my God, she looks like she's 20. Or that's not her.
Only far away enough.
I don't know. The roast beef sandwich is an art form. Sure. Why not?
Just hang a little bit outside the bun.
Look, Giannis Antetokounmpo is coming out of Madonna's vagina. Very strange.
Well, now I'm thinking Arby's, dude.
It seems... It seems desperate. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, if I did something, I'd probably get HR would probably call me down
without
and
a
say,
doubt.
dude, you can't sell your wiener as an NFT and have your little head coming out of my
head?
Yeah.
Do not drag me into your penis NFT, dude.
Hey, Granny, is that your vagina? That's fancy. That's a fancy one. Hi, how's it going?
Morning. How's it going?
Good. It's good. It was.
So
was
doesn't
good.
Madonna know that the script for Total Recall's already been done? It's been written. It's been written multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't have mechanical whatever climbing out of Virginia's. I mean,
I've been to Virginia. It's watching the seasons change. Foliage.
Great foliage in Virginia.
So,
I honestly like the triple-tittied woman on Total Recall. The original one, not the Markov.
I didn't even see the remake.
So I'm looking at the pictures. They're clearly touched up.
Well, yeah.
And there's a giant tree coming out of her
She
virgin.
didn't really have a tree in her vagina.
That must be a pretty gaping hole there.
It's adequate.
Well, that does not look like the body. And I'm not taking shots because it is what it is. But that is not the body of a 63-year-old woman. That's touched up. That is computer-generated body. No doubt about it.
I love this line. Sparked confusion and dismay on social media when she debuted the risque NFT collection.
Her knees look weird.
Confusion and dismay.
Yeah, I know, that's where we're at.
Without a doubt.
I'm somewhere between confused and dismayed. Like, what?
Perfect.
What's going on?
It's like I could not put my feelings into words. There you go.
I'm not saying you have to put your clothes on when you're 63, but when the Virginia becomes the focal point, that's not aging that gracefully. I don't know. It's very strange. But that's up to you. Hey, that's up to you gals.
That's right. You just got to let her run with it.
Run with it, dude. I don't care. I'm good.
Just let her get it out of her system, and hopefully we never have to talk about her vagina again.
Well, we're talking about her.
Very good. Yes, we are.
I mean, I wouldn't put her down as a top-ranked hoe, from what I understand, but now, I'm never going to look at a butterfly the same.
I'd be like, are you okay, little guy?
She hatched a butterfly. That's Mother Nature.
I didn't think that's how science works.
That's unbelievable.
All right.
Replay today the JJO Morning Show podcast. Get up with Johnny and D. JJO.
Yeah. Six-packs and growlers and bombers of ale. Let 'em mix and match 'em, there's no room to fail. Located out on East Washington, Trixie's is the place for all your springtime fun. Trixie, Trixie, oh yeah, well she's got your beer now.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Trixie, Trixie,
uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
She's got your beer now.
Oh, that's right.
Beer.
Hi, Trixie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You're positively glowing this morning.
Well, thank you.
You're so welcome.
That's because I love 90-degree heat.
I'm not just buttering you up because you've got enough. What did my buddy Dave used to say? You got enough sweat running down your butt crack to open a water park. That's
why you wear an airy cotton dress.
Yes, it's true.
Let it flow.
Let it flow. So here we are. Now we've got special guests in the studio. Trixie, introduce everybody. This is great.
We do. We've got Mike and Jerry here from Hubbleton Brewery, self-distributed from Waterloo. Beautiful place out in Waterloo, too. Like, you guys are in the middle of nowhere. Farmland, absolutely gorgeous, and amazing beer. So we've got some friends in today.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
Introduce who's your pal?
So we got Jerry here. He helps a lot with production and order fulfillment and a lot of other stuff around the brewery. And then I do all the sales and distribution. One of the owners.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing the sales and distribution, how many miles do you think that you drive in a week?
To give you an idea, I get monthly oil changes because I have to.
Yeah.
I'm basically on that same schedule, too.
Oh, yeah. It's bad. When we first started distributing, I was like, I wonder how long this is going to last. And you look down, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, my God, I'm a week past it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to scold me if I'm 1,000 miles over.
You're supposed to add oil? Oh, crap.
Yeah, every now and
then. I know. Life's hard, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts while you're driving?
Oh, God, yeah. There's some, there's so many. Don't get me wrong, we throw on the radio every now and then.
Right. Oh, no. You and Biaz are going to just launch into a dissertation on the frog.
Oh, no.
On Wisconsin frog species.
Oh, boy.
If you're driving that long, you can't just listen to music that long.
I know.
It's so much.
I know.
It's true. I grew up a big music junkie. Like, I have discographies memorized.
Audiobooks are huge, dude. Yeah.
That, too. I've burned through all of them that I could find them. Like, at what point do you just stop listening to stuff about the cosmos? Like, it just gets old after a while.
Right. Me and Dateline.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love Dateline murder mysteries.
Yeah, dude.
I'm fascinated by people who think they can get away with it. I'm like, listen to the science. How do you think you're going to get away with that?
I'm always yelling at, don't you ever watch Dateline?
I know. What are you thinking? Control your anger. You're going to jail.
Well, yeah, and then you come up with better ways to hide bodies. That's what I love about it. It's like, okay, A, B, C, D, that didn't work. I'm moving on to the slurry pond.
Will you stop giving out my place?
Just wear your Fitbit while you're sleeping, just to prove you're not there.
Love it. So, Mike, you guys started out. You guys have tell us the beginnings of Hubbleton.
Yeah. So, long story short, this was supposed to be my dad's retirement hobby. He's been a self-taught home brewer since 1994 is when he first started. Which we know that for a fact because when we added on the very first expansion to the brewery, we were digging through a bunch of old DVDs that we had found, and we were going to have them condensed all into one, just because a lot of old home videos and VHS and all that. And I took that home just to scrub through what was on there to make sure we weren't getting anything we weren't supposed to. And there was this video house tour of the first house they bought in Waterloo before they moved out to where the brewery is. And it was a video of him sending a tour to a friend of his that lived on the East Coast at the time. And he turned around, and it's like this old ancient VHS recording of it. And he goes, I'm going to start brewing my own beer. And then
as an afterthought.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an afterthought.
I had some old corny kegs and a bunch of other random stuff sitting in the corner. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That's so neat.
Yeah. I'm like, oh boy, if he would have known, would he have gone this far?
He was a pioneer, and he didn't even know it back in 94. Didn't even know it.
Don't worry. He's still kind of a hipster. It's fine.
Oh, really? He's so hip he doesn't even know it. He's so cool he doesn't know it.
We'll go with that.
And then you guys started out, and then a shed in the house proper.
So when he first started homebrewing, it was all in the basement. It was just 5-gallon homebrew kits, stuff like that. Eventually, he graduated to all grain, which is what the majority of breweries do now. And it got to the point where he used to work at a place in Deerfield that did a lot of stainless steel exchange and refabrication. And he bought an old distillery setup and chopped it into a 1-barrel system just to have at home. Because growing up, there was always something on tap.
Dude, he's the Elon Musk of homebrewing. Just out of thin air.
A little less weird, but
a little less weird.
You haven't talked to him much. But,
more weird.
You know he might be listening.
Oh yeah, I know they got it on
checking.
full blast at the brewery right now. So shout out to Tom.
Cheers.
But so he just kept going with it, and after a while, and my mother will just verbally assault you if you bring this up. She fights a tooth and nail that he did not get kicked out into the shed, but I know for a fact he did because I was there for that conversation. But eventually he moved out to the shed.
What banishment,
She claims it was voluntary.
Yes. And that's
I know what you're doing, lady.
Perspectives.
Right. Exactly. It's the old school division. But we fought that tooth and nail, and then he started going out there, and after a while, that was several years before the brewery even started. And I think it was January or February of 2015. I was still at home at the time, and I came back from work one day, and he goes, hey, I got something I want to talk to you about. And I went, oh.
Oh, the birds and the bees. What were you, 15?
Yeah, give or take.
Son.
And,
that's an awkward age.
It really is.
That's an awkward age.
It really is.
I just pulled that out of thin air.
It could have been.
You gotta rip that Band-Aid off earlier.
Son, it's time to have that talk. I'd like to show you something.
Oh, boy.
No? Okay, go ahead. Finish your story.
Very uncomfortable.
So he goes, hey, I want to talk to you about something. Can you come back here? So I walk into his office, and I'm thinking, I forgot to pay a bill, or they found something they shouldn't have, or whatever. And he goes, you know that brewery I've always wanted to do? I'm like, well, yeah, you never stop talking about it. He goes, well, here's the floor plans. He's got diagrammed out, perfully laid out, sketched down to the foot. And I look at it, and I was like, given your scale, that's not very big. Where are you going to put this thing? He goes, oh, I'm just going to build the shed out front. I'm like, what? It's tiny. He goes, no, we'll expand it. So I think it was early June of 2015. We're knocking tin off the side of the shed and adding posts and started building it. And it took 18 months from the time we started to the time all the federal, state paperwork was done, the township was good, and we were ready to roll, and we could legally sell and produce
What a
beer.
project.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
We are the field of dreams with taps.
I love it.
Nice.
And then so you're growing. I love that you didn't go balls out and start canning 10,000 cans. It's like you let demand really dictate your growth.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah, and that's because we came into this with no real professional experience.
Right.
And we did our homework and saw what other breweries did and kind of how other places got started, and there was a lot of stuff we gleaned from there. But at some point, you just got to rip the Band-Aid and go for it and figure out what's going to work and what doesn't.
Right.
And for us, we're like, well, we're not super comfortable with a crazy debt load, and I like sleeping well at night.
Right,
so
right, exactly.
Let's just take this niche at a time.
Right. I'm going to second mortgage the house for something Dad may or may not be that great at.
well.
But no, you've come a long way. I remember having you guys for the first time years back up at Kestrel at the beer outing. You guys were up there, and I'm like, whoa, knocked my socks off, dude. It was so good. I'm like, what is this all about? Who are these dudes?
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Bartlett was the one who told me about Hubbleton first. He was like, me and my wife going to go on a drive, go to Hubbleton. He doesn't even talk like that. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, he does.
Jimmy Bartlett, Magic 98. That would be weird. But no, he's the one that enlightened me and brought me a beer. And I was all like, oh, hell yeah. And he's like, that's by your hood. Man, I need to get out there more. Especially being in the middle of nowhere is really appealing to me.
For real, that's the appeal of it. The classic all-American road trip.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, somebody find me a car, and I can take a road trip. Anyways, but you're not so secret anymore.
Yeah, it's slowly starting to get out, and there's a couple times even
while you're here.
Right, exactly. We finally
all 4 people listening are really excited.
We are officially a brewery now.
How crazy is it now then?
It's still maintainable, but there's definitely some days where we're like, do we need to really push and promote? And then there's other days where we're like, yeah, billboard wouldn't be a bad idea. It ebbs and it flows, but we know that this summer...
I like the underdog. I like from the roots, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. And we've been establishing our roots for the last couple of years, just figuring out and physically building this thing out so it can support more than one person has been half the battle. And the other half is just how do we get the word out without just fire dumping money into it to get it to go. And I think we finally kind of figured that out, to just make good connections and make good beer.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Let the beer speak.
Make good beer.
The beer lover will spread the word, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's your best advertising. Make a good beer. Make a good song.
I know, dude.
Write a good song.
Make a good joke already.
Damn it. Don't. I can't. And then what will you do? So right now you're making all of your own beer on site.
Oh, yeah. We do everything on site. Right. I mean, we build.
Would that ever change? Would you let that change?
Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, you always want to keep quality under control. You want to keep everything as firsthand as you can. And because for us, with everything being as self-manageable as it is, we can control the pace of what we're comfortable with what the market's ready for.
New Glarus does a pretty good job keeping their beer within the border and keeping the demand up. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad business model. I don't know why I'm talking like this. No, it's a little weird. See,
French fried taters.
I talk like when I talk like this, nobody else can hear me but you.
Oh.
I don't.
But you have a microphone in front of you.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was just a theory I had.
Yeah.
Might not be working too well.
I like it. You're good ideas, man.
So when are you open? When can people come up and hang out? What are you, 6 days a week? What are you?
We're just Friday through Sunday right now. Just Fridays 4 to 9, Saturdays 1 to 9, Sundays 1 to 5.
You do food?
We actually just partnered up with Crawfish Junction out of Milford.
Yeah.
They have a huge food truck that they bring out. We're rocking Friday night fish fries and Saturday dinner service as well. A lot of munchy stuff, share platters, stuff like that.
The Gator Bites are legit.
Oh,
I love it when you team up with the food carts and stuff. I think it serves everyone well.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, we're brewers, not chefs. Don't get me wrong. I can do a mean frozen pizza, but let's leave it at that.
You ought to team up with the Milford Trap Club and serve up some pheasant kebab.
Ooh. All right, not a bad idea.
It was a bad idea. You can tell.
Is that a bad idea?
Pheasant kebab?
I don't know. Is that a thing?
It might be. It could be.
Put some bell peppers on there, some
Why
onions.
Why don't you work on that?
Some onions? Come on now.
I mean, maybe.
Pluck your own pheasant, get $1 off.
Oh, my God. So gross. Ugh. I don't want to be anywhere near that.
That would be fun. That'd be your trademark signature. Pluck your own pheasant. We got the beer. Come on out with the kids for Halloween. Pluck your own pheasant.
I feel like that's.
Oh my God.
Going out to the
That's
corn
morbid.
Today, this weekend, corn maze and pluck your own pheasant out here in Waterloo.
I feel like that's just going to degrade into the roadkill special, and I don't want to get that far, man.
Your dad right now is like, cut! Stop talking! Stop talking!
Oh no, we'll keep the spicy stories for
Dude,
later.
we're ideas people. We're ideas people.
All right, you got a notebook?
You know what you ought to do
Trust
for
me, you don't have to write any of them down.
you know what
I wouldn't.
You know what you ought to do for football season? You ought to make a beer called Hubble Up.
Oh,
dude, stop.
What? What? Jerry's over there going, Hubble Up. God damn it, this is really good. Really good.
To be fair, none of our beers are named sober. That's like that's a
I like that.
rolling
Yeah.
tradition in the brewery.
Right. That's a
is we just
craft secret.
Call the other half and go, all right, we're naming beers tonight.
Yeah,
Good
right,
luck.
right.
We're going to need a ride around 8:39. And lock the doors when you get here.
All right, let's get our first beer under our belt here. What do we got?
All right, we're going to start off with the Kolsch, the Kleinstadt Kolsch. This is really great. So very light, very fluffy, very golden. And I love the hops in here. I know that these are locally grown hops, but perfect, in my opinion, for a Kolsch. It has a little more of a hot bite to it, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah, it's definitely been one of the better beers that we've made as far as just every time we turn around, we're like, where did all the kegs go?
Right.
Every time we take a count. And it's something we just put in a 6-pack a little over a year ago because we were looking to replace the current light beer that we had. And we're like, we don't want to do another pale ale. Everyone and their grandma does a Pilsner. So we got to do something that's at least remotely interesting. And this one we had on draft for 2 years. And we're like, I think that could be a good fit for us. And we did it and almost immediately shot to the number one. So,
nice.
It's been doing good.
I love Kolsch. It's one of my favorite kinds of beers. The crispness of Kolsch is one thing that I really love, and I think they're great for summertime slammers. Just nice and light, and you can go about your day, and you're not weighed down by a whole heavy beer.
What's the ABV on this one?
It's just around 5.
Yeah,
So
okay,
perfect.
Is there a better beer to go with a brat and a slab of cheese?
No, this is definitely the beer.
This is the beer right here. I had this number one out of the 6, which is amazing because I was really looking forward to the darks. But this is number 1 for me. Oof, just delicious.
Light beers are tough to make, man. It's a good rule of thumb. If you ever go to a brew pub, brewery, whatever, check their lightest beer first, because if they can do that right, you know the rest of it's going to be
That's a good point.
Why are light beers harder to make?
It's like a battleship versus a paper sailboat. Anything that's wrong with it, any kind of imperfections, any impurities, any of that is going to come through immensely on the light stuff. And in bigger stouts and porters, you can bury that stuff because there's so much going on.
Sure.
So you know if that bad boy's crystal clean, the rest of it's going to be good.
That's a good inside tip there.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting beer. I mean, for people that are afraid of craft.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like a low hop thing, a little malty, a little sweet. It's got a little sweet on it, too. I mean, it's just, and when you make a Kolsch, we've talked about this before, don't you have to follow the German recipe or somebody comes over and hits you in the face with a baseball bat?
We have yet to be batted, but it has to stick traditionally to the purity laws. It's just grain, hops, yeast, water. That's it.
Right.
And that's how the majority of beers that we do are made anyways, besides the goofy adjunct stuff. But we try and stick as old school as possible because that's how you keep it clean and simple.
Love it. My number 1 beer. Absolutely fantastic. Love Kolsch. If you've never had a Kolsch, do yourself a favor and get a little crazy. And it's not even that crazy.
No.
It's just delicious.
No, it's good intro beer.
All right, what's our next beer?
All right, the Tully Hall Irish Red, 5.2% alcohol, super great. I love the malts in this. There is a balance of hops, but it does have that like really subtle nickel quality to the red ale that I like. Not overbearing though for the people who don't like that that aftertaste aspect. I mean, I happen to like it, so I like the subtlety that is still in there. Super great. I see on the label there's a background story to Tully Hall.
Yeah, it's kind of a wild story. It's the definition of serendipity. So my dad and his mother went over to Ireland about 2 years after I was born because his mom is super into genealogy, and she has our original name, the McGoverns, traced all the way back to their heritage in the 1500s in Ireland.
Wow.
And they found out through that trip that Tully Hall was the name of the small baron within Cavan County, Ireland. That is where the name originated from. And when they found out about that, it was kind of like, oh, that's a cool side note. Maybe we can bake that into the story in the future. And we found out later on, like I think it was 3 years into the brewery, she came over and started talking to us about, I found a bunch of cool old plot maps and like the old, 1900s.
Did their homework.
Yeah. Oh, she's part of the historical society. She loves this stuff. And she brought over an old plot map, and it turns out that there was 5 McGovern brothers that actually homesteaded right across the field from where the brewery existed that they owned about 250 acres that the brewery now sits within. So
Your brewery?
Yes.
Whoa.
The original, the 40
And
acres.
you didn't know that?
No, we didn't know until like 3 years in. It was crazy. We were like, oh my God, we did the most Irish thing possible. We built a brewery on it.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
That almost sounds like you're making it up.
No, I
just
swear
for
to God.
a good
It
beer,
was meant to be
like
a-
a good beer story, you know.
We kind of geeked a little bit when we heard about
Yeah.
that, and we're like, we got to get a
Now,
copy.
I kind of got goosebumps there.
We pulled the plot maps from the Historical Society, and we went, oh my God, it's actually true. Okay.
Destiny.
Yeah.
I love it when stuff like that happens.
That is cool.
Total happenstance.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Badass. So here we are drinking our Irish Red. What do you think? Oh, what do you think?
She already did it, but I have an issue with reds usually because of the nickel penny taste thing. But like you said before, it's very slight in this red, and this is actually one that I really super enjoy. I think it's just the right amount of everything in there, and I really like the maltiness of it all. It's a fantastic.
I think it
beer.
smooths it out for you specifically,
Yeah.
without that being the forefront,
Right.
of
I
the
can't
flavor.
deal with that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
But if you don't usually like reds, I would give this one a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them do have that weird like copper sensation to them, but
Yeah.
we kind of front load it and make a little bit sweeter on the front end to kind of help reduce that hesitancy of like.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, I told Mike and Jerry earlier, said Reds don't seem to get the respect they deserve, and maybe they're up and coming, but now you're getting into a fuller body beer. You know, if you don't want to go full porter, you know, you're something happy medium, something in there. You're getting the malt, you're getting
Right.
some hop in there. It's delicious, dude. I absolutely love it. People from the 1500s would be proud.
They would. Doing the McGovern some justice.
They're up there somewhere going, good, you done good, boy. Yeah, it's delicious.
Why do they talk like that?
I don't know. No. Oh, I got to quit.
No,
I got to quit.
Bail, dude, bail.
Dumbing down your smartphone. One podcast at a time. Listen, rate, and subscribe to the JJO Morning Show podcast. Get up with Johnny and D. JJO.
If Snoop Dogg shows up someday on television with a giant diamond-encrusted Darth Vader head necklace, I'm going to beat you with it.
He won't, though,
How do you know that?
because it's Snoop Dogg.
Are you a rapper?
Yes, she
It's going to
is.
be a blunt covered in diamonds, not Darth Vader.
She's a little 40.
Little 40?
Thank you.
I got you, boo.
I want a cool name before the show's over. Damn it. That's cool. All right, Mike and Jerry are
The
here from
opposite of me.
Mike and Jerry here from Hubbleton Brewery in Waterloo. Isn't that Trek bicycle people out there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Isn't that the world headquarters?
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah.
Everybody cool?
Oh yeah. Those guys are awesome.
They must have had a great couple of years with the pandemic.
Oh, I have to imagine. I don't know how well retail did, but their online sales were through the roof.
Huge. That's awesome.
Also in Waterloo, Van Holt Pickles.
Oh,
I love
right.
pickles.
Good call, dude.
Shout out to Casey, the Pickle Prince.
What up?
Dude, I did the tour of the pickle factory, and it was seriously one of the best
Oh, yeah.
days of my life.
How come no one's made a beer, or the worm in tequila? How come you've never put a tiny pickle in a beer?
We have talked about this an ungodly amount because he's had a maintenance over there.
Little baby gherkin.
And we constantly.
I'll show you a baby gherkin.
Can we make a pickle beer? Is that a thing? Can we make that happen?
There's pickle beer out there.
Yeah, I think it was
I think it would have to be a light beer.
Yeah, there's a place in Texas that does like pickle beers, pizza beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like at one point, am I just drinking Campbell's?
It's a good question.
I think a pickle beer sounds great.
I think eating pickles sounds great.
Yes. Ooh. All right. Let's collab.
All right, I'm in.
Amen. What's our next beer? What are we?
All right, we are on the Crooked Judge IPA train right now, and super great. I love the IPAs. This one definitely has a drier finish to it that lingers on your tongue. So super big fan of this. Tell me more.
Yeah, so when we first started developing this IPA, it took a lot of different revisions to get it to where it is. Because we kind of wanted to blend between old school West Coast, kind of dryish, piney, not too floral, but doesn't feel like you did a shot of gin. And we wanted to have something that still had like an upfront softness, kind of like the East Coast and more New England-ish juicy stuff, but without getting to mimosa level, because some of them get pretty overboard. Not that that's a bad thing, but we wanted a good balance so you could pick up a 6-pack a week of that and you wouldn't get bored of it, but you're not scraping your tongue after every beer either. So that's kind of where we went with this one, and it's become a staple for us for sure. There's a lot of people that they love the unique profile of the hops, and we actually back it up with a solid amount of grain, so it's not just on the bottom end. So
I have to ask you, are you self-taught in beer, knowledge-making, brewing, and the science?
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. Well, with enough 6-packs, anything's possible.
You don't let anybody...
I've been saying that forever, man. And look how far we've come, dude.
I'm always amazed at how much I learn when you guys, across the board, not any brewery, come in and talk beer. It's impressive. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you. What do you think of the beer?
Fantastic. I love the almost like brute finish on this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's that dry finish, but it's not like super over hoppy, powerful. I don't know. It's a crazy journey, this IPA.
Yeah.
And this is about a judge that was actually crooked.
Yes. So that's where we got the name from, because the Hubbleton's a little unincorporated town between Waterloo and Watertown. And we tried a lot of the core beers. We try and keep relevant names to like our local heritage or the history of the brewery.
Sure.
And when we started digging up this, my coming back to grandma, who is super into history, she actually brought this up, that the guy that owned several hundred acres between Lake Mills and where Hubbleton is, his name was Levi Hubble, and he was a namesake for the town of Hubbleton. And he's one of the first circuit court judges in the state of Wisconsin back in 1848 I think it was 6 years after that is when he started. And he ran his term for about 6 years, and he was really good at collecting taxes, but not all of it went back to the state. And they found out about that and weren't too happy, so he got impeached. And we looked at that story and we went, well, he kind of sounds like a bitter old man. We should probably name an IPA after him.
Here come the crooked judge.
So... yeah, that's kind of
driving the nicest car in town. What the hell?
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
We it's funny because we have a running joke around the brewery. If that any batch goes sideways and we have to get rid of it, and we give it to a farmer and they field spread it or whatever.
Yeah,
we're like, well, Levi must be thirsty again.
I love it.
And how long ago was he a judge?
He was 1850s.
Oh my God! It's amazing. There was like oversight back then. You think people would have in 1850 would have just been like, oh, what's $1,000 here?
Well, clearly there wasn't a whole lot of oversight. He did get away with it for a while.
Well, yeah, for a while, but they eventually got him. And what'd they do? They string him up? What'd he do?
No, he was just impeached, and I think he ended up moving towards Milwaukee.
He probably still got his pension and
It's probably harder to prove at that point.
Now,
too.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
You know, we
That's
don't
exactly what I'm
they
saying.
didn't have the backup recordings that we do now.
They couldn't just pull his Google Drive account, you know?
Well, I love this. The flavor is incredible. I mean, that's what I love about pale ales. Just super bomb flavor. Super good.
Yeah.
Congrats on that. Of course, you got to have one of these in your stable.
Oh, yeah.
And that is legit. All right, what's our next beer?
All right, Crawfish River Porter. Great porter. It's got the malts to it, but definitely balanced out with hops. Personally, and I'm wondering if my taste buds are like funky, is there like a slight salt hint in here?
It does. So that actually comes from the yeast. It's an English porter. So it
Okay.
does have like a slight dry finish to it that almost has like a salted caramel feel to it.
Okay. That's what I'm getting out of this. That's really good.
Caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Toffee, what'd you think of it?
I loved it, dude. And yeah, I definitely got the caramel-y action on
Is this your number one?
This is the first beer we ever produced on our system. It's not the first batch, I promise, because if we had a 5-year-old porter, I'd be a little worried. But it was one of the OG beers that we started running with. And my dad loves English porters, and this was kind of his swan song. He's like, I got to make a good porter, because that's something he drank a ton of, especially when building the brewery. The amount of empty bottles that left that building to get it built was a couple 55-gallon drums, but it was a lot.
Well, isn't that what a classic English porter should be? Creamy, roasty,
Yeah.
a little bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the recipe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And English porters are awesome because I feel like they're much more dynamic than the American porters. And American porters are great. They're really good beers, but a lot of people tend to think of them as baby stouts.
Sure.
And with the
baby
English
stout.
style, there's so much more that you can do with it. You can go adjunct with it. You can go old school like we did. They're great beers.
So
all around.
I've heard the term smooth porter. What is that? Is that like a fruity porter? What is that?
Smooth porters, for the most part, a lot of it has to do with you can actually lager some porters.
Mhm.
There's a couple different categories that gives it a really, really smooth finish. A lot of it can do with like the style of hops, how much
Okay.
yeast you pitch. There's a lot that goes into it, but for the most part, it's just how you want to make that beer intentionally.
Sure. Okay. Dynamite, crawfish, the big dog.
We thought uploading to the cloud was something completely different. The JJO Morning Show Podcast. Johnny and D, JJO.
With Hubbleton Brewery from the world-famous Waterloo, Tri-County, greater Tri-County area. Mike and Jerry are here. And give some shout-outs. I love shout-outs.
Well, we already hit
Well, that's all we have time for. Let's get back to that. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, we're good. Hi, Mom. There's the obvious.
Oh, Mom!
Shout out to Mom.
Hello.
Obviously, say hi to Dad. Tom, what's up? We got the Pickle Prince, Casey, over in Waterloo.
Nice.
And all the other people that make this thing possible, man. We got a really good crew of people that help us keep the lights on. So,
How many, would you say, how many people are in the inner circle of trust, would you say?
all said and done, employment-wise, I think we're up to 11 now,
Yeah.
between bartenders and all the other fun onesie-twosies that we do.
That's a healthy staff for a small brewery.
It is. Thankfully, none of them are super dependent on it, which is great. They just have a lot of fun with it. And our running joke is that if you sit on the other side of the bar long enough and we get to know you, you might get hired. Because summers are crazy out by
Sure.
us. So we
Sure.
need a lot of hands on deck.
Love it. You any trees out there? Big trees?
Oh, yeah. When
You ought to do a tree house
Ideas, man.
where you can go up and sit. Just like neat little tree house locations.
Airbnb.
Dude, boom.
We might have to.
Well,
Just get sauced, and they'll put you in a.
What could go wrong with
they'll put-
sending a drunk person?
they'll
up
put you in
into
a
That is the
treehouse?
first
Listen,
thing I thought of. Is I
they're
was
gonna-
like,
here's what
how are you
happens.
going to safeguard that
Listen
so
to me.
people don't break their neck?
They're going to put you in a scissors lift and then take you up to the tree house. And
I'm
then
interested at scissors.
And now the cost just quadrupled.
Oh, God.
That's-
I can hear our insurance company
True.
crying already.
All right, we have a beer left.
Yeah, we've got the Huntsman's Breakfast, which I've brought on to the show before. It's an American Imperial Stout with local coffee and chocolate. Super love the coffee hit in this. And the chocolate is just enough. It's a darker chocolate, which is awesome. At 8.3% alcohol, you're kind of getting to the, a nice slow sipper of a beer, but super tasty and excited we're putting it in the 6-pack mix and match this week. And usually we don't. It's a more up there 4-pack, but special treat to the JJO listeners. We're going to put it in the
Love it.
in the mix and match this week for you guys.
Tell us about the Huntsman.
Yeah. So we this was actually when I think it was 2017. It was October. I want to say like early October. We just got done with our Oktoberfest, and we were sitting around like, what do we want to make next? Because we kind of had the core stuff underway, and we wanted to get a little bit more seasonal. So we threw out request on I think it was Facebook. And we're like, hey, help us decide the next beer, throw out a style if the one that gets the most likes wins. And we're like, okay. We came back a week later, and it was chocolate coffee stout. And we're like, well, we'll see how that goes over because we are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, we didn't know what to expect. And we ended up tapping the very first keg the opening day of gun season, which is where it's got its name from because there's like 3,000 or 4,000 acres of DNR hunting ground that's all public stuff around us. So we're like, well, a lot of people get done hunting around 9, 10 o'clock, and they're kind of ready to drink their breakfast. So let's give them a big beer.
I would never guess that this is as potent as it is.
Yeah, it doesn't have that alcohol flavor blast in there. So this is a secret slap you in the face later beer.
Oh yeah, it's a Trojan horse for sure. And we do a Belgian triple in the winter as well. It's 9.5%. But that thing, you drink it and you're like, oh, this must be like 4 or 5%. You look at the beer boards and you're like, oh no, I think I made a mistake.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to come out for that. I love
yeah.
the tripels.
We named it Good Night, Sweet Prince.
As it should be.
Yeah, it's a fitting name.
Should be the last beer of the evening, never the first beer.
Depends on how the day went.
If you open it up that way, I don't know. My nights never end well with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's when the JMO comes out. I've never understood that. It's 2:30 in the morning. Let's do a shot of JMO.
No.
Stop it.
Go to bed.
Stop it. Go to your treehouse.
Yeah.
chocolate out the yaya, dude. I love this. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, did you mention the boozy tasting? There's no boozy taste in this at all.
No, it
It's
is.
super smooth.
Razor smooth.
I have a dumb question.
Sure. I may have a dumb answer.
Weird noise I heard somewhere. Did original Russian Imperial Stouts start with coffee way back in the old days of Russia? or because that would be weird now to have a Imperial without coffee in it. You know what I'm saying?
I love you so much.
Did they?
Why are we in Russia?
Well, I mean, isn't that where they started? Russian Imperial Stouts, right?
I feel like I should plead the fifth on this. Just
Did
given
they
the
have?
circumstances.
Would they have? They wouldn't have had coffee.
Coffee's been one of the oldest traded commodities known.
Okay.
Besides beer, of course. But
yeah,
Think about all the Western movies that, man, they're drinking the coffee, the covfefe. It's a big thing. Filtered
I know,
into
but did they
sauce.
put it back in beer 800 years ago? I just wondered.
They might have.
Somebody gets us straight. You don't know everything.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it. Get out.
My girlfriend's going to be happy to hear that.
Delicious.
Remember the day you admitted you don't know everything?
We've got it on record.
She's used it against me ever since. Congrats on the beer. It's delicious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
We partnered up with Barris Brothers out of Watertown for this one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because we found out, I think we were like a year or two into it, and the owner of Barris Brothers contacted us, and he goes, "Hey, man, I grew up literally like 2 miles from the brewery. I used to stomp around Hubbleton all the time. We'd love to do something together." And because initially we were just using, whatever we could find
Sure.
for good coffees. And once we got with him and we figured out kind of a matching profile, it was spot on. I mean, we were like, holy crap, that's even smoother because it's good. And then we switched to we've recently gone to Ghirardelli chocolate is what we use in there. So we try and
Oh, yeah, that's high-end chocolate.
yeah, it's about as highbrow as we get, but
Right.
we want to keep it high quality because it does pass through to the end. So
Delicious.
I got to give a shout out to the Barris Brothers. They're amazing doing local stuff in the community. Awesome people to work with.
Yeah, Pete's a good guy.
Yeah.
All right. So in closure, what is the plan for what's the 5-year plan?
So right now, we're kind of finally getting stabilized. We got a little 3-barrel operation out there, and we're on track to pump out between 600-700 barrels this year. So it's like riding a tricycle at 200 miles an hour. So, full tilt, basically. And we're planning on just kind of even keeling things, getting nice and efficient, and just plan out the next steps for us. Because
Let demand dictate it.
Yeah, that's a lot of what it's going to be, and we want to know, what is the next step? And now we will actually have time to think about that.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It sounds like a good way to go. Excellent. Trixie, what do you got on your end?
All right. Well, our 6th beer is going to actually be on tap tomorrow at Growlers to Go-Go at 12 o'clock. And we've got 2 of them. It's a Hefeweizen and the Shorts Bean Dark German Lager. So we've got 2 beers that are going to be on tap tomorrow at Growlers to Go-Go at noon. And then we also have a sampling tasting tomorrow at Trixie's from Hubbleton Brewery from 4 to 7. So if you want to try the beers before you pick it up in the JJO Mix and Match, that's a good time to do it from 4 to 7 at Trixie's.
Is that at the Growlers or Trixie's?
So Trixie's has a sampling tasting from 4 to 7.
You don't do that very often over there.
We've got sample tastings.
Yeah?
I think COVID shut it down for a little while,
Sure.
so it's kind of messed with people, but it is back.
I like it.
And then at Growlers to Go-Go at noon is when the Hefeweizen and the Shorts Bean Dark German Lager will be tapped.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll be the one doing the sampling, so if you want to come say hi, I'll probably be there about 4.
She's a good hookup.
Oh, yeah.
Very good hookup.
We like taking care of the smaller breweries.
Yeah, I
and when
love
you're
it. I know it.
self-distributed and you're working your tail to the bone and the product is good, which you guys have accomplished, we're all about backing it up and making sure it gets out there because there's enough room for you guys.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And we always want to double down because we're not trying to be the gas station beer. We want to be in the places that we know, respect, and want to take care of craft beer and shooting for that market anyways. So we want to be in with those guys because they know they're, a handshake takes 2 hands. So we want to work with them because they know they'll plug us too.
Right. Family owned, dude. We're family owned. Keeping it right here in town. Well, congrats. It's a world-class operation.
Yeah,
your beer's really, really good. And Jerry doesn't get enough credit, and I'm like to buy him a donut. So there you go. Good
Take
to
the
see
rest of the week off, Jerry.
Jared, take the rest of the week off. What's today? It's Thursday. You get one day off.
To be fair, he did get his stuff done yesterday.
I appreciate you, Jerry. We appreciate you. Say hi to the crew.
Yeah, definitely.
And front doors open anytime. Good to see you guys.
Yeah. good to see
Trixie
you.
on East Washington. Look for the big orange arrow. We love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you too.
The JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe. Catch a new show every Monday through Friday, 6 till 10 a.m. on 94.1 JJO or streaming anywhere in the JJO app. Johnny and D. Nowhere but JJO.